Have you ever stumbled upon something that doesn't belong? Something that time forgot but refuses to disappear? Let me tell you about the phone booth in the woods. In a forest on the edge of a small village, there stands an old phone booth. Red paint peeling, glass cracked, surrounded by trees that seem to lean away from it. The telephone company abandoned it years ago. No wires connected anymore. No one knows why it was never removed, but the locals know better than to go near it after dark. They say if you open that creaking door at exactly 3 in the morning and lift the receiver, you'll hear something. Not a dial tone, not static. A voice, distant, like it's calling from somewhere very far away, or somewhere very deep. A young man named Daniel didn't believe the stories. On a dare, he hiked into those woods one cold October night, flashlight in hand. He found the booth standing in a small clearing, mist curling around its base. At 2:58 a.m., he stepped inside. The air felt thick, heavy. His breath fogged the cracked glass. At exactly 3 o'clock, he lifted the receiver. For a moment, nothing. Then a sound like wind through a tunnel, and beneath it, a whisper, his name, Daniel. But the voice, he said, wasn't quite human. It stretched the syllables too long, like someone remembering how to speak. He dropped the phone and ran, didn't stop until he reached the village. But here's where the story gets stranger. 3 nights later, Daniel's phone rang at home. At 3 a.m., when he answered, that same voice whispered his name. Every night after, the calls continued, always at 3, always that voice, growing clearer, closer. Daniel moved to another town, changed his number. The calls followed. The last anyone heard from him, he'd gone back to the phone booth, said he needed to understand, needed to know who was calling. His car was found parked near the forest the next morning. The phone booth door was hanging open, receiver dangling. Daniel was never seen again. The booth still stands in those woods, and they say if you listen carefully on quiet nights, you can hear it ringing. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings, waiting for someone to answer. But the question isn't whether you'd pick up. The question is, what happens when it starts calling you back? Subscribe to Wander Spooky Tales for more haunting tales.